Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome to Healing with Goddess Isis, a place where I channel weekly healing messages from the beautiful Goddess Isis herself. All right. Keep in mind that this reading is for the collective, so only take the messages that you feel resonate with you and gently release those that do not. All right. So, without any further ado, we will jump right into this week's healing message. We will be starting the reading off with an inner child message to see what inner child wounds, traumas, or fears are still lingering in the subconscious that has an effect on your present day energies, okay? And we'll take a look at what area or what space that it is for you that needs to be healed at this time, all right? So, you have for your inner child healing message number 51, pipping with vulnerability. All right. What just came through with this card is you not feeling or being able to feel as if you can be yourself. All right. You guys fear vulnerability. Okay. You guys fear vulnerability for whoever this is resonating with. So, therefore, you have build a wall force up around yourself. All right. And with this green here, I'm picking up mainly around your heart chakra. Okay. With all of this green um, in this image here. All right. So a lot of you have blockages around your heart chakra. Okay. You don't want to allow yourself to be in a place of vulnerability because of a lot of disappointments and letdowns that you may have experienced in your childhood, right? And so you have built this brick wall up, or there's this brick wall in place that prevents you from giving it your all right? Whether that be in a workplace, whether that be in friendships, whether that be in relationships, right? You don't allow yourself to be vulnerable, okay? Because of past hurts, because of past letdowns, because of past disappointments that you experience throughout your childhood, right? I'm really getting I keep hearing the let down a lot. Okay, that's what's really coming through. A lot of you may have feel like that you had expectations from someone, especially in your childhood. Since this is the inner child message, you had expectations, right? And someone um, didn't come through for you, right? Maybe someone didn't be the best parent you thought they could be, or the best caregiver that you thought they could be, or maybe I'm also getting that like you had these high expectations, right? You really looked up to someone in your childhood, just for disappointment to follow. Okay, so some of you really had this. I'm really getting. Um, some of you put someone or more than someone, some people, on a pedestal in your childhood, right? You really looked up to these people or this person. Um, you saw them in high regard, right? Um, but in the end there was no reciprocation with that, right? You didn't get back what you were putting in with this person, okay? So that's what's coming through, but I'm also going to take a look at the book message for this card. So let's see what the message is. Okay, so here's the message for this card. It says, "Hi there, my name is Pippin. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I know no other way. I feel a sense of openness and trust with the world, and I am not scared to be vulnerable. My sense of self and my ability to articulate hard and uncomfortable feelings helps the people around me to do the same. When Pippin comes to visit, you may want to look at the level of vulnerability in your safe relationships. Are they places you are holding back or putting up a wall to keep yourself safe?" Yes, this is just what I said, right? The deepest and most genuine connections come when we can express our authentic selves safely. Freedom to express your authentic self will allow you to deepen your connection to yourself and others. Just like Pippin, it's important to know that it might not be comfortable or easy, and yes, you may get hurt. Thus is life, but you will get through it, honoring yourself every step of the way. And that is worth it all. Begin to look at the ways you close yourself off or dim your light out of fear. When the fears and doubts arise, take a deep breath, tune in, and affirm for your inner child that you are safe. Practice being more authentic and vulnerable each and every day. All right. Yes. So some of you are afraid of putting yourself out there, right? Just as I was saying, there's this brick wall up. Okay, that you that wall is even up with the ones who you should trust, with the ones who are in your corner, the ones who have your back, right? But you may not feel that sense of connection, okay? And it's not that it's necessarily them, it's because of the inner child healing that needs to take place for yourself. All right, so this is a time for you to acknowledge that those things that were a part of your past, more specifically your childhood, should not define who you are today. Okay, just take them as lessons as to how instead they could make you a better person today in the present and moving into the future. All right, so a lot of you need to address what in your life caused you to put this barrier up, what in your life caused this wall to go up for you. Okay, so this is a moment of reflection of self, reflection of childhood, reflection of those experiences that puts you in this place of not wanting to feel vulnerable. Okay, what does that situation look like for you? Who does that person look like for you? Who was that person from your past that is still having an effect on your present? Okay, so that you can stop it here and it doesn't go into your future. All right, because I'm also getting there's people around you who truly genuinely love you, okay? And you may be holding back from them, and it's not fair not only to them but to yourself as well, because you're not allowing yourself to fully receive the love that's out there for you. Okay, and not just in terms of relationships, as I was saying earlier, and as the book also mentioned, you could also be limiting yourself in other spaces of your life. Okay, whether that's your work life or your friendships. Okay, you could be limiting yourself by not exposing yourself to things that can open you up more, right? Because there's this fear that keeps you from doing so. Okay, there's this fear of not wanting to get let down. There's this fear of not wanting to be disappointed, right? Even though on the inside you can feel that spark, you can feel that passion that may be pulling you or drawing you towards those things. There's that one part of you that jumps back into the past and say, oh no, we can't do this. Remember what happened to us last time. So this is the cycle that you need to begin to break. All right, this is the cycle that you need to begin to break. Is that, hey, life, as the book also said, the book meaning life is life, right? You're going to have your ups and you're going to have your downs. You're going to have those who disappoint you. You're going to have those who don't always have your best interests at heart or in mind, but that shouldn't stop you from living the best version of yourself. All right. So let's see what else we have. Okay. And then you have, do you have people in your life who make you feel like your emotions are a burden? Notice and distance. All right. Yeah. So, and what is coming through with this is where it's time for you to cut ties with the people who put you in that space of not wanting, of feeling, not wanting to feel vulnerable. Okay. And I'm picking up a strong sense of parental figures. So for some of you, these are your parents, all right, or some type of authoritative figure in your life, okay, that may have been trailing um, with you from childhood up until now. These emotions, these energies, right? Uh, I said trailing, maybe treading, right? Or just being with you for the long run, right? It may be even to this point. And so it is time for you to notice who these people are that doesn't allow you to feel like you're in a safe space. Okay, so as the card says, do you have people in your life who make you feel like your emotions are a burden? All right, that's the question for you. And some of you may have had an instantaneous person pop up in your head, an image pop up in your head, a name pop up in your head. These are the triggers, right? These are the triggers of the people who put you in this energy of not wanting to be vulnerable, not wanting to put yourself fully out there, right? I'm also getting some of you may gaslighting. Gaslighting is coming through, right? So you may have people in your life. Um, so I'm also getting teenage years. So you may have had people in your life from your young childhood up until your teens and young adulthood. And I'm like, again, I'm getting parental figures who may have, made you feel a certain type of way for being expressive or for um, speaking your mind or just like making you feel like bad for your feelings, bad for your emotions, bad for um, your point of view, right? And so this is why it's important to notice why these people are triggers, right? So it's like in hindsight, you looked up to these people, right, and you admired them and you wanted the best from them, but it was almost as if it was never enough, and so that disappointment just kind of led you to just, you know what, I'm just going to be quiet, keep my mouth closed, stay in my place, right? And so there's also this figure of like, I don't know if you can really see it, but there's like this little skeleton figure here in the background. And it's just like someone who's just like in the background without the best intention for you. Okay. Just like you are this light. Look how colorful it is here. And then you have this skeleton dark figure in the back. So they're not energetically the best for you. And sometimes it's important to notice these things so that you can cut ties, right? And so that you can move forward and not carry their emotional baggage and burden along with you. So notice in and when I say cut ties, this is what this is saying. Notice and distance. So you don't have to like let them go completely, like, but it is okay for you to know when there needs to be a separation, right? When it's just like in not in more so separation in an energetic sense, right? Separate yourself energetically from these people. All right. Okay. And then you have today, make a playlist of your go to jams. You know, the ones that make you turn the volume up in the car. All right. And it says to keep things off your mind. All right. So, yeah, this is just you allowing yourself to be in that happy space. Okay. Allowing that energetic shift to take place for you. Allowing yourself to be in this place of just not caring, right? No longer carrying other people's emotions, no longer carrying other people's burdens or feelings or thoughts of how they feel of you, and just moving to the beat of your own drum. Okay. Moving to the beat of your own drum and releasing yourself from those things that have been emotional baggages for you. And you also have, dear God slash universe, thank you for always supporting me and never giving up on my journey. Yes, and this is, I feel like this is just really you. And I love how like the greens are still coming up here. You allow yourself to be in that safe space, All right. This is what I think the energy you need to step more or get more into this energy of allowing yourself to be in that safe space and recognizing that the things that you went through does not define you. All right. The things that you have went through does not define you. It does not make you who you are today. If anything, it was there for you to learn from and to grow from. Okay, not to be stagnant and stuck in those energies and in those emotions. Okay, look at it from a reflective stance point of view and just see, what was the overall message or what was the overall theme for you having the type of parents that you had, from having the type of friendships that you had in the past, the type of relationships that you've had in the past. Look at it in hindsight and see, what did you get out, or what do you think you were meant to get out of those things? Okay, what was it that um, you think the lesson was? Okay, and did you pick up that lesson? And chances are you did, because you're here today, right? So some of you may have moved on from those situations, but you're still standing your ground today, right? But this is to fully relinquish yourself from those energies and just cut ties where they need to be cut ties, and give yourself the distance for those of you who may still have those type of people in your life. All right, and thanking the universe to say, you've supported me through it all. I'm still here, I'm still standing, I'm still moving forward. Right. Yes, I have my flaws. Yes, there are some things that I need to work on, being okay with being uncomfortable in my own skin, in my own emotions, allowing those around me to who fully love and support me to do just that, fully love and support me, and not letting my emotional baggage or burdens prevent that from happening. All right. So to keep these things off your mind, put yourself in this happy space. Be grateful, be thankful that you are where you are today, and that you've received the lessons that you have from the past, even up to this point, that's going to allow you to give yourself a better future. All right. And so we also have sadness. Right. And yeah, that's what I feel like. And this is why this put the playlist on and jam out card is here, right? Because some of you, I feel like you have your days, and I don't feel like this is all the time, but you may have your days where this is just what you feel, right? You feel sadness. You feel sadness because you may wonder, like, why are things the way they are? But I get mainly in regards to yourself, right? You may feel like, why do I feel this way? Why am I not able to fully open up? I have this beautiful wife, or I have this beautiful husband and children who love me and who show me that they love me in different type of ways, emotionally, mentally, physically, right? But there's this blockage that I can't fully receive it. Not only can I not fully receive it, but I have a problem with returning it. So you might feel like, what is wrong with me? Why can't I be that open person, right? Why can't I be this open person as they are to me, right? And so this is why it is going to be important for you to address the vulnerability issues, address what keeps you not fully exposing yourself. Even in her posture here in this picture, it's like she has her head tucked away, right? She's not, her body posture, she's not fully open to receive. If anything, she's more so closed off. And so this is why it's going to be important for you to address, why are you closed off? Okay, taking it back down memory lane. What things happened in your childhood that caused you to have this issue around vulnerability? All right, noticing if those people are still around, noticing if those people are still a part of your life, knowing how and when to distance yourself. Okay, gaslighting coming through again. Some of you may have people around you from that stem from your past, that's been there from the beginning, that is good at gaslighting, right? Good at painting your feelings or emotions as invalid, right? And you may have started off as this happy-go-lucky child who was just free loving, free giving, and was open to expressing yourself and expressing your love, but you grew up in a family that was like the complete opposite. right? Here you are, this child having all this love to give, all of this love to share, and yet you have parents who's as solid as a brick wall when it comes to their emotions, right? No hugging, no kissing, no I loves you, no I love yous, right? None of that, right? And so at some point you had to learn how to adapt, and you close yourself off just as they were, right? You were like, what's the point? What's the point of all of this if it's not being reciprocated, right? And so then you may have noticed that the older you got, you started to attract more and more people who were like that because you put yourself in that type of energy, right? You put yourself in that type of energy, so you attracted that energy. So you had relationships where the connection, there was a disconnection in the emotions, in the feelings, and there was just nothing there, right? It was probably more out of conveniency more than anything else that you would have been together, right? And so you adapted energetically to your home situations, right? But it shaped and shifted your energy to the point where you not only adapted, but you attracted. Okay. But I do feel like along the way, there was a shift. Okay. There was a shift that brought in the right people for you. Okay. You all eventually found your way to the right soul tribe, so to say. Um, but now it's a matter of unconditioning yourself. All right. So you may be surrounded by all of this love now, what you've been longing for from the day one, right? But now you don't know how to respond to it. Okay, because it's been closed off, it's been blocked off, it's been tucked away. All right. And so you now there's sadness around it because you're like, why am I like this? Like, this is not who I am. All right, because that inner child that is still a part of you, right? That once upon a time happy-go-lucky inner child is still a part of you, but you may feel like you may still feel like it's not a safe space. Okay, so you don't want to put yourself in vulnerable situations for reason of a potential letdown or potential disappointment. All right. So there may be sadness around that area for you. And look, you also have emptiness. Yes. Feeling empty, feeling like, there's nothing there to give, right? There's nothing there to give. And the crazy part about it is that I feel like in this energy, like there is so much to give. But I'm also getting to with this image here. It's like it's been sucked out of you. Like that potential life force has been sucked out of you. I'm a point. I don't know how well you can see this, but it's almost like this image here, right? The skeleton image. It's like drawing life from here, right? So it's like it has been sucked from you. All right. Um, but it's still there. That's that part of the inner child that's still there. There's something left. Look, there's still not everything is depleted. All right, not everything is depleted. So there is still something left. All right, so even though you feel like there's not with this emptiness card showing up here, there's still something left. You just have to learn how to redirect your energy and pour it into those who matter. All right, and I'm also being drawn to the new life here with these branches of the flower branches growing out here, right? New growth, all right, new growth of life, and just being grateful for where you are now, being grateful for those lessons, even though they may have been hard lessons, but just being grateful for them for showing you that you are capable, you are capable to love, you are capable of being loved, right? And so just being thankful that you experienced and went through those situations to see that that's not who you want to be, or um, not who you are, right? So it's ironic as it sounds. A lot of the times we are placed in certain families, soul families, as children, so that we can learn from them early on, right? We can learn what that feels like. We can learn what we don't want, right? We can learn those things early on so that, but the problem is a lot of the times it becomes conditioned upon us that to break free from it becomes a challenge. But it is at the same time, it's also a lesson, right? And so this is why it's important to be thankful and look back on those situations just and say, man, I see that situation for what it is. I see I never wanted to be that cold-hearted person like my parents were, or just this person with a heart of stone, or this person who just couldn't receive love. Like you look back and like, I never wanted to be like that, and I refuse to be like that, right? So it's all about going back within, okay, and just filling in that void. And it's going to start with looking at those things or those situations that put you in the space of not wanting to be vulnerable, right? It's time to energy shift. It's time to put yourself more in this happy space, in this happy place, and expressing the gratitude for being able to learn from these different life lessons. All right. And then you have needing to correct an energy imbalance. Yes, 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 yes. All right. Only pour into what's going to give you life. Okay. Only pour into what's going to give back to you. Okay. A lot of times when people don't want to be vulnerable, they settle, right? They settle for situations, they settle for relationships, they settle for friendships, right? Because they don't want to overexpose themselves. But then what's happening is that they're putting themselves in these situations or circumstances of people who are energy vampires, situations of people who are draining you rather than uplifting you, situations of people who just add to the plate, okay, of already burdens that you got going on rather than taking away from it. All right. And so this is what happens when you don't want to put yourself out there, when you don't want to live in your truth, when you just settle. Okay, you settle for the treatment that is around you rather than thinking highly of yourself and thinking that you are capable and thinking that the universe has your back and thinking that you are a survivor of any past traumas, woundings, healings, whatever, right? So you have to learn how to put yourself in a different mindset and put yourself in a different energetic vibration. Okay. And so the message on the card says, will show up as physical, emotional, or mental exhaustion, feeling out of sync or drained, and struggling to find motivation or clarity. May manifest as mood swings, chronic stress, fatigue, or a sense of being overwhelmed. Yes, and I'm just being drawn back to this sadness card. And I feel like that's part of the reason why you could be sad is because you're feeling like, like, why am I like this? Like, that's not you. But you're feeling like, why am why? Why am I going through this? Right? And that's this energy imbalance. And you need what it says you need to correct it. And how you can correct that is by pouring your energy into the right things and taking away from those things that are more inclined to keep you stressed, more inclined to keep you frantic, anxious, or just always worried about something. So now it's just a matter of pouring your energy into the right things, right? Making yourself uh, feel good, putting yourself in a good mood, right? Blocking out those people, distancing yourself from those people who are energy vampires, right? Vampire energy is just, want to take, and not give. All right. So this is you at this time recognizing that you need to put yourself in a safe space if no one else is going to do it. And for those of you who have the support or the people around you who are your safe space, this is the time for you to pour more into them. Okay. And to open yourself up to also receive from them. No longer blocking them out. Okay. Allowing yourself to be vulnerable around the right people. All right. So now let's get some tarot. Thank you, beautiful beloved. Mother Goddess Isis. What additional messages? All right. Look at this, guys. We have the devil. Yes, yes, yes. And look, and it's very fitting with this skeleton image that I kept being drawn to. All right, in this background here, drawing out your life force. Be mindful of these people around you. All right, be mindful of these people around you, these people who like to keep you in lower vibrational energy. For some of you, it is definitely time to cut ties. And like I was saying, cut ties could be just as this card said, just distancing yourself from those type of people. All right, because they don't necessarily have your best intention in mind. They could be the culprits in why you are who you are today, or why you feel the way you feel today. So just now is the time to really use your discernment. Okay, use your discernment, the Four of Swords, so that you can put yourself at ease and put yourself at rest. Right? It's time to lay down the sword. Okay, Four of Swords. That's normally what it is. You've been probably fighting this for most of your life, right? Fighting these feelings, fighting these emotions, fighting this sadness of not fully getting why you feel the way you feel, why you're going through what you're going through. Forward source is it's time for you to cut the ties and protect your energy, right? When you distance yourself from this devil energy, you no longer have to have your guard up, right? You can feel at ease, you can feel at peace, at rest, right? Because you don't have to always feel like you're on guard, or standing guard, right? And so this is the time for you to pour, like I say, pour your energy into the right things, especially yourself, especially on improving yourself, your health, your well-being, your outlooks, your perspectives, right? And it's going to start with distancing yourself from um, this devil energy, right? And this is just the people around you who keep you stuck, okay? Keep you stuck in that low vibrational energy. And then you have the Four of Wands, okay? And I love this showing up because this provides stability, all right? This provides stability. This means getting back on course, all right? So I love how you jump from the Four of Swords to the Four of Wands, all right? So you allow yourself to rest, recover, right? Recover from all that unwanted energy. And guys, take this however it resonates for you. If it's a person, it's a person. If it's a situation, it's a situation. If it's a job, it's a job. But whatever it is, you'll know what that is, and you'll know what it looks like, and you'll know if that's the thing that's being called for your energy to be removed from. All right. And so you allow yourself to be in this resting phase, okay, recovering. And then you step more into a grounded energy with this Four of Wands. All right, stability, things being balanced. Yes, and this is needing to have this energy balance. Yes, it's perfect alignment, right? This is what the Four of Wands is, stepping into balance. All right, balance and stability. And so not feeling empty, right? You come in full circle and feeling like fulfilled, right? And so yeah, so this is what your focus needs to be on: pouring into yourself, pouring your energy into the right spaces, places, people, and removing yourself from those ones that keep that unwanted energy lingering around. All right. So, my beautiful souls, that is this week's healing message. Really hope you enjoyed. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment if this message resonated for you. Until next week, my loves, take care and bye bye.